Hey guys, I'm here to give you my top 10 games of 2012. 2012 was a great year for games. There weren't a lot of bad ones, but they were more so in January, February, March. But now, in the past 3 months, there have been just so many good games, and it's great. So, let's jump into the top 10 list. But before we do that, I just wanted to have some honorable mentions because there are a few clarifications I want to go through and just make sure that no one's disappointed by my list. Now, let me start off by saying number one on the honorable mentions list is Mass Effect 3. I have not played Mass Effect 3. I am working on it. I just got Mass Effect 1. I'm playing through Mass Effect 1. I'll get to it eventually, but it would undoubtedly be on my list because everyone's just saying how amazing it is. So I'm just going to trust them, put them on my honorable mentions list. I'm sure when I get to it, I'll like it. But another one I haven't played, Max Payne 3. I really wanted to because it was on sale on Steam for quite a small sum of money, but I just didn't. I don't know. I bet if I played it, I would have a different impression, but I don't know. There's just too much stuff, too many games on my plate right now. I just didn't feel like playing it. Now, another game, WWE 13. Now, I really like this game. It's a lot of fun, but I feel like it's just geared towards people who understand wrestling, who understand WWE, because if I put it on the list, it would be a game where I said you should go out and you should buy it. And even if you're not a fan. And I don't feel like that would work because if you're not a fan, you're not going to understand anything in the game. And I think that's half of that's like 90% of the game. You have to understand the personalities, and creating stuff is always fun in that. And the last game that was probably number 11 on my list that I have played, Assassin's Creed 3. I just I really liked it, but it's just not. It's not. I don't believe it's not in the top 10. It would be 11, but these 10 games, I've had a lot of fun with them, and I think you guys should try them out. So let's move on to number 10, Black Ops 2. Oh, wow. Okay. I can feel the hate coming in now, but come on. Have you played this game? You can bash Call of Duty all you want, but you have to admit that Treyarch always makes the superior Call of Duty, at least since the first Black Ops. I mean, when Modern Warfare 3 came out, it looked identical to Modern Warfare 2 with just a few little changes and just horrible brown-looking maps. And I didn't really I liked it for a couple months, but I was done with it by February, which is fast considering it's Call of Duty. But I don't believe that's the case in Black Ops 2 because it changes so many things from the first Black Ops, and you can tell, not even if you took away the HUD, you could tell that it's a different game. They actually changed something. They have a new storyline, new futuristic campaign, new score streaks, new twist on zombies, just so many more things. And I believe more importantly, it doesn't feel like another Call of Duty. It feels like a sequel. It feels like a genuine sequel, and I think the game should be praised for that. And that's why I gave it number 10 on my list. All right, number 9, Transformers: Fall of Cybertron. Yeah, you know what? Transformers, I don't know a whole lot about it, but this game is amazing. I don't really see this as a Transformers game, though. It seems to me more like a third-person shooter with a great twist. You can switch hands, kinda. You can like, transform whenever you want to into a new thing. It's cool. It really is cool. And I like third-person shooters, but it's a cool twist on it. You can transform into anything. Well, not anything, but your character, whoever you're playing as, is they have like a specific transformation. I think it's cool, and the campaign is definitely more involving than others because I feel like in other campaigns it's like I can't really think about it, but it's like Black Ops 2 campaign, it can be a little dull at times. And I feel like in this campaign, it can be dull, but it's like you feel like you're doing something. I think that's what I'm trying to say. It feels like you're doing something, and I really like that. And whenever you're like shooting robots over and over again, it doesn't feel like you're shooting a robot. And I love how challenging it can be because, like, even in the first couple missions, you can just die out of just walking into a room full like 3 guys. You can just die, and I think that's a testament to how this game isn't exactly. Oh, it is a Transformers game, but it's more than that. It's a great game, and it also has great multiplayer. I haven't really touched on that too much, but yeah. The driving can suck on PC, and let's be honest, the voice acting is god-awful, but other than that, it's great.
I like the perspective this offers.
Number 8.
Hand me the keys to this motorcycle, let me start it up. Yeah! Vroom, vroom, I'm ready to go. Time to let the Monday Nitro. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Lock up the basement and the front door. No one's coming in, time trials. I'm getting ready, baby, I'm racing all night and wild. Everybody's here waiting to play. My high score stands all day. Yeah, here we go. Do not hold me back. Do not try to ride on the back of my motorcycle.
Trials Evolution. Just for the cost of 3 Starbucks coffees, you can experience this addicting and creative game. It doesn't have to be a motorcycle game. If you don't like motorcycles, that's fine. But this game is more than that. I mean, it has so many mini games. It has great addicting maps that you can race on. It becomes addicting really fast, and it's a great game to download. And it's coming out on PC in a little bit too. They just had a beta for it, but look out for that. And it's fun. I mean, even if you're not very good at it, and I think that's what makes a truly great arcade game. The real game, though, does lie in the multiplayer and the map editor. The career mode's fun because you unlock bikes and you can customize your character and earn money and all that. But it's just so much fun to play with friends, and the map editor is tremendous. The things that people make are just ridiculous. Like, someone made Pac-Man. It's like they made Pac-Man. How do you do that? It's insane, and I think it's people making all this stuff is what keeps this game alive. The community is just still there. They're still playing it, and I'm not going to stop playing it anytime soon because I mean this is only the beginning of how many great maps, because every day people come up with insane ideas for maps, and it truly just shows how great this game is, and I mean, yeah, it's just a great arcade game. You guys should definitely check it out. Number 7, Guild Wars 2. So, I don't really like this whole thing that whenever you recommend an RPG as the number 1 game of the year, or something like that, because it's hard to recommend, because you can really get into any RPG, and you can really be biased, because RPGs, if you get into them, you can really, like, love your experience, and you have so much fun. But another person may go through that RPG, may not get into it, but they may get into another one. And it's really kind of like, it's hard to recommend an RPG. But MMOs are pretty much the same thing too. But Guild Wars 2 offers so much. It's just a great value. I mean, it's free. It's not free. But you don't have to pay monthly. It's just a huge world that you can explore. I mean, even after playing it for maybe an hour and a half, it can feel like, kind of a drag for the first hour and a half. But after you start playing for an hour and a half, you're like, holy crap, I just wasted the whole day. It's phenomenal. And it has so much content packed into it. It's ridiculous. It has a PvP mode, which is, you can just waste so many hours on. It's ridiculous. And world versus world. It's just, you're on a server with, I think, 3 other worlds, and it's kind of like a big battle. It's a real-time battle where you can participate, fight for your world to win on the server, and it's so much fun to participate in. And there are free updates that are still being supported on the game to this day, like the Halloween update, which had like candy corn monsters, the Christmas update where it dropped presents and you can pick up the presents and get cool stuff, and it's great. And since there's so much here, it's impossible not to recommend it to you, because I mean, it's just Just play it, and trust me, you'll become a victim too. Number 6, Forza Horizon. I just never really got into Forza, but I always thought that the driving was great and customization was great in it too. But it felt to me more like a simulator, driving simulator rather than a racing game. You raced in it; it was a campaign sort of thing, but it was dull. You kind of just raced around and did the same races. Oh, I'm going over here, race here, but there was no story to it, and I think that's why I like Need for Speed Most Wanted, the first one, so much. And a couple other Need for Speed games after that, but mainly Most Wanted. But this is to me, this is like the new Most Wanted. The old Forzas and Gran Turismo, it had no life, but this just boosts up the life, and it shows that the people behind Forza know what they're doing. And I think a lot of people are asking for a game like this, and it just delivers an amazing racing game, my favorite racing game in years, because the Forza's driving is just perfect. It's a simulator, and you combine it with this great, you combine it with a great story, or not a great story, it has some plot holes, like why is Alice in charge of the whole event, what did she do, and why is this event the biggest thing ever, But other than that, it's a great game, and I love it so much. It's my favorite racing game in years. It offers it's fun and enjoyable. It offers realistic driving of Forza 4 and kind of a little bit of not really Most Wanted, and it offers more Pro Street than Most Wanted because it doesn't really have cops. It doesn't have cops, and it gives the driving game that people like me have always wanted. So that's why I put it at number 6. Number 5, Dishonored. Dishonored is a game that I just love playing. It's not linear in the slightest. You can go through this game. There's just a huge city. You can go around. You can dispose of so many people in so many different ways. Although you do have to play for a while until you unlock some cool stuff. And in the first few hours can be a drag with not being able to heal really, really often. You have to start the mission over, and it can be frustrating. But it's just a great gameplay experience. Oh, you don't like it? You thought it was boring? You thought it was short? Shut up. You really have to play this game as stealth, and you have to get immersed in it, and you have to actually, play it as a full-on experience. And, the game has some problems with the stealth. Like, if you're, spotted, you're kind of screwed. You kind of have to load, especially if you're on a team again. Especially if you're fighting like 5 guys. Well, at least in the beginning. Later on you can kind of fend them off, but it's difficult. So the overall fun I think you have with this game is determined on how you play it. Are you running through it? Then if you're running through it, you're not having fun. But if you go through it and you play it the way you're supposed to play it, you're supposed to go in and take down everybody. You're supposed to start a new game and just try your best to go through and not kill anyone and get the 100-point achievement for it. That's how you have to play it, I think. And that's why I put it at number 5. Number 4, Halo 4. This game is definitely better than Reach, and it's definitely what you call a full package. Now, Reach, a lot of people wanted to call Reach the final Halo and all that, but to me it was dull. It was dull. I didn't really enjoy it, and even when I tried to get into it, I just didn't. And even Halo 4, I've kind of had on the back burner for a while. I haven't played too much of it, but from what I have played, it's been really, really amazing. The graphics are tremendous. And there's so much more to do. You could spend hours doing one thing, go spend more on another, kind of like Guild Wars 2, but in a fast-paced kind of way. It has campaign, multiplayer, it's Spartan Ops, and I think that's what keeps the game fresh. The campaign can be a drag, but I found if you're listening to a podcast or something, it can go by pretty fast, and you can still kind of understand the story. And the campaign is fun though, but it can be dull. The multiplayer is always fun. It kind of brings back to roots of like Halo 3 and 2 multiplayer. I think it's a lot of fun. You know, Spartan Ops is also fun. You got co-op missions and kind of you can play single player. It has like Easter eggs, and they're released like every week. And I believe the next season is in January. Yeah, so if you have an Xbox, I recommend this game. It's so much fun, and it's definitely a blast when you're playing it. Number 3, XCOM: Enemy Unknown. This game is it's the best and most complete strategy game out there, period. It's the best strategy game this year, also. XCOM is a full, involving, and challenging game where you have to fend off aliens, basically, with the soldiers that you can create. Again, it kind of goes with the thing on how you play it. Like, I personally think that whenever you name your soldiers and customize them, it makes the game like 3 times as fun. You know, the gameplay itself stands for itself as being awesome, and I think the real thing that I like about it is the fact that you just have so much at your disposal. Like, you can order anyone around. You can order them to, like, you know, bomb everyone. We're the only ones left. And they'll be like, oh, okay. You know, you could do. Wait, I mean, you can't really do that, but they would do it if you had the option to. It's great. You know, you can choose what countries you want to help, and then the other countries are like, I hate you. I'm not going to talk to you, and then they get angry and they kick you out. But I think that's fun. You know, so yeah, you control kind of the entire game, and if you mess up, then that's too bad, and you have to start over. But I do recommend having a couple backup save files, so you have a head start. You know, you can hire scientists to make different weapons. They research stuff. You can hire them to make laser rifles and whatnot. And it's so much fun to play through. And I think it's the best strategy game in years. You know, I haven't gotten into a strategy game this much since like Civ 5 maybe. That's completely different though. So I recommend XCOM though, because it'll appeal to anyone. Like Civ 5, it would only appeal to people like strategy games. I think XCOM can appeal to anyone. Number 2, Borderlands 2. Okay, I'll admit it. I didn't like the first Borderlands at all. Yeah, it was boring, it was dull, and it felt like a chore to play through. And the plot was, well, you know, there really was no plot. It was a minimal one, and in the beginning, you never really did anything to advance the plot. You know, you kind of just did odd jobs. But Borderlands 2 fixes these things. It adds a new villain, Handsome Jack. Like, right from the beginning, you are like, I want to kill you. And the whole game is spent taking down him. And I like that about it. I really do. And I think he's one of the things that keeps this game fresh and not boring. You know, the new customization options are good. And the upgrades are good, and you know, there's a lot of new stuff they added. You know, it feels kind of like a sequel, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like a huge step forward. It still has a Borderlands 1 feel to it, but I still love it anyway. It's fantastic, and I think you should play it if you like FPSs. It's phenomenal. Second best game of the year. Number 1. Far Cry 3. Now, I don't think there's ever been an FPS in the last 5 years that has focused so much on the single player. It's Far Cry 3 just, it blows me away with just how much it does. It gives you so much to do. It truly is like it feels like a game that the people who worked on it have enjoyed making. Unlike some other games, it feels, whenever they have a spirit like that, I think it brings up the game a notch. And for this, it brought it up a whole lot. So, Far Cry 3 has everything your standard shooter has, with a multiplayer and everything, but it has a playable and fun single player. And I haven't seen that in forever. Halo 4 was good. Single player, like I said, it can be dull. Same with Black Ops 2. But Far Cry 3 single player is the whole game. I have not seen that in AAA shooter in a long time. But yeah, it's just great. It has memorable characters in the story such as Voss, Citra, and Jason. They're all great, and it's the best game I've played all year. It has incredible voice acting. It has incredible level design, and it never gets old. And it always has me coming back to play more. There are just so many things to do on such a great looking map, and that's not even everything. I mean, the game has great multiplayer and an easy to learn map editor. It has great gameplay. It has a great story, and there's just so much to do, and it truly is the game of 2012. So, what did you guys think? What's your top 10 games of the year? What's the best game you've played all year? What are some games that I should try out that maybe weren't on my honorable mentions list? So tell me in the comments below, and I'm looking forward to the games in 2013, especially with the new consoles coming out. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.